So when was the first time you thought about donating?
Well, I would definitely say the very first time that I considered donating, well, I mean, I've always, to kind of go back, I've always liked the idea of organ donation. But in my mind, you had to be dead to do that. So I've been an organ donor on my license. Now, the first time I really thought about live donation, or even learned that it existed, was when I was watching the news one night, and there was a local woman from Tacoma who had donated a kidney to actually one of her favorite customers. And so that's when my wheels kind of got turning, and I thought, yeah, this is something that I could do. So that was kind of the first sight of the possibility.
How did you learn more about kidney donation?
The way I learned more was primarily through the internet was kind of how I started. As I got in touch with the local transplant center, they sent me a really nice, complete packet of information that I really went through, and it gave pretty much all the information I could want from kind of beginning to end.
Was that Virginia Mason that sent that?
Yeah, that was Virginia Mason.
Did your friends and family understand why you would donate to, and at that time, a complete stranger?
I would say no. Most people didn't really understand what I was up to or why I had all of a sudden had this great idea. So it took some time to sort of make my case, so to speak, and I still think most people don't fully understand the whole stranger donation thing, but I feel like I was pretty well supported by my family, even though they didn't fully understand.
Was there anybody that discouraged you from donating?
Oh yeah. I had, won't mention any names, but I had one friend of the family who was quite adamant about me not donating. And wrote me quite a lengthy email getting into all of the reasons why this was a terrible idea. And I have to say, like, at first I was pretty hurt. I felt hurt, I felt discouraged, but in the end, looking at that, I was like, it made me want to do it more. It made me know, no, I don't feel those ways, and it kind of contrasted for me what I really wanted to do. It was like, she has all her reasons, but I still had all my reasons why I wanted to do it. So ultimately, even the naysayers sort of helped me to get more clear on the fact that I definitely was going to do it.
So what scared you the most? Were you ever afraid about dying?
No, I would say nothing scared me, thankfully. And I think that was probably the part that made me know, yes, this is the right thing to do, because I had no fear, I had no sort of worries about it. As far as fearing death, I'm not really afraid of death on a regular basis, besides going through this. I think I'm pretty comfortable with that. Of course, I didn't want to die, but I also knew that, with modern medicine the way it is and me being healthy, I thought that it was a fairly low risk that something like that would happen. So I thought it was worth taking.
What was the biggest hurdle you had to overcome through this whole process?
Well, definitely the biggest hurdle was convincing my husband that this was going to be a great idea. His reaction was pretty much disbelief when I first told him. And he kind of had this look like, oh, here we go again. Because I tend to be like an idea girl. I have a lot of great ideas for my life, and some pan out and some don't. So for him, it just kind of seemed like, oh boy, here we go again. He's a very A-type personality, so he's not crazy about uncertainty. So it took a lot of conversations and a lot of sort of just kind of reiterating my point and my passion for doing it, and he agreed that he didn't understand, but he would support me through the process.
Did you ever think of calling everything off and just saying, thanks and everything, but I just can't go through this?
No, never. That was never something that came into my mind. At one time, my husband was going through some health issues, so we kind of had to slow the process down. I think it was probably, I don't remember exactly, maybe about 3 weeks that we kind of just took a little breather, had some lab testing done on him, and once we were kind of in the clear and knew he was okay, we just jumped right back in and got it going again.
So talk about the procedure. What was your transplant day like? What did you go through?
Well, transplant day basically it's an early morning. I had to be there at 6:30, so I got up at about 4 o'clock. I did some meditating and some yoga. And just basically contemplated a little bit, kind of all the hard work and all the time that had passed. All the hard work we had done to get to that point. It was very relaxing. I just kind of tried to stay calm. Things went really smoothly once I checked in. Like any other surgery, they give you the little wristband, they ask you some questions. Took me back, I got into a gown, just kind of laid down and I sort of halfway slept. Anesthesiologist came and put an intravenous line in my arm. And then before I knew it, they were wheeling me back into the operating room. And
so you were awake. They put me under there in the preparation
I got to
room.
see the room. It was really cool, and they were kind of explaining what they were going to do. We're going to lay you on your side. We're going to put a pillow between your knees, and we'll put a catheter in. And so they just explained that a little bit to me, and they actually added an additional IV there too, I guess, for emergency, in case something was to happen in the surgery. So yeah, the last thing I remember was being in the operating room. The doctors were making some jokes. We were all laughing, having a nice time, and then I just started to breathe and got the medicine in my IV, and I was out.
Yeah, and then you woke up and everything was over?
Yes, yeah. When I woke up, I was in the recovery room, and I remember my eyes were kind of just googling around in my head, and I was like trying to look at the clock, and it was like I think 12:50, and was when I officially first could open my eyes and see a little something, and then right back to sleep. And the next time I woke up, it was like 2 o'clock, and I was back in my room, and my family was there, and